hopefully everybody can hear me. Not quite sure how the microphone's working, but I had to use my webcam for the mic, as the one that came with my headphones was just awful and I couldn't hear myself. Not quite sure how the microphone's working. But anyway, we'll start in about 8 minutes. I just wanted to let the room fill up if anybody's actually going to watch this. But anyway, we'll start. I'm just going to sit here and wait a few minutes. See if you guys pop in. Basically, this video isn't really for live streaming. It's just to catch something for my customers to understand the process of how I sell their miniatures, their collections, or whatever on eBay. So we'll give it a few minutes, about 11:45. I'll get back to it, and I'll explain to you guys how I sell people's miniatures from Craigslist when I've seen that they've been sitting on the market for a while. Explain to you guys how I sell this particular collection that I saw was Chaos. This guy had a beautiful Chaos army collection. This particular collection that I saw, he couldn't sell it. Was been on there for a little while, so I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, let me sell the collection. I think I can get you about what you want anyway." Been on there for a little while, so however, I can have it sold in 15 days in cash in your hand, and we'll see how. However, I do. Basically, he wanted. I believe it was $1,000 for Chaos Space Marine. We'll see how I do. And basically, he wanted right here. Individually, the miniatures don't look all that fantastic. They look good, especially when they're all based the same way. Individually, the miniatures don't. But it was a relatively fast paint job, but very good, especially when they're all based. Overall scheme, as you can see from the picture. But it's just killing it as far as the army goes. He had this Zeech to Zenich, whatever you want to call it. It meets Dryads, a wooden type world like this or whatnot, and he mixed it in with this Chaos. I thought it looked just fantastic. Now, normally I don't buy painted miniatures to sell because it's very particular what people will pay for. Now, normally I don't buy painted. This is somebody's creation. Not everybody's going to view it the same way. He's altered the miniatures from their original state. So it's a little less buyers will want them. So sometimes painted miniatures just don't stay because people don't like just the way they look. Customizations are even worse. Painted miniatures, but once in a while they do just fantastic the way they look. And I thought that this particular Chaos army was just a little too iffy. It looked awesome as a whole, but selling them individually in units per the tank, per specialty person, I didn't know if I could make my money on that. The IG collection, which I believe he wanted $1,200 for, was more regular IG colors, and it really had that green, which looked like every other IG you ever seen in one of the Warhammer catalogs. Just generally nice, not overly done, but the paint jobs look great. You stand back, you look at the army again, you're like, oh, okay, this guy really had a good collection going. Most of the people I sell for, at least with miniatures, some are painted, they've got a unit that's primed, they have the people I sell for, at least with miniatures, just too many different types of things to where, yeah, I'm going to get less of a price. Some of them may have broken guns or whatever, but this guy's collection was just fantastic. Every base painted the same way. As you can see, most of it's red, browns, and grays. And I figured, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try. I was going to offer the gentleman $1,500 for the collection to begin with, but I was really scared about the paint jobs. So I told him that, and well, I feel like I could have walked away with these at $1,500. that's the goal that I'm trying to get for this job. Now, I don't know for sure whether he would have sold it to me at 1,005, but having them both gone at one time, and he had 2,200 on the price. That's normally what I can talk someone down to in cash. You know, boom, right there on the spot. But I thought it was a little too risky, and there was no potential upside to him. 1,500, that's it, right there on the spot. A little potential for downside. It was a little too risky. And there was no want that potential upside too, because he could sell absolutely fantastic, and then he's going to get more cash, and then I feel good about the job that I've done, and he could feel good about the money he's gotten in the short amount of time it took me to do it. So anyway, we're gonna get rid of this army today, starting at the short amount of time it took. I think it's about 1 o'clock now. Why am I starting now? Get rid of this army today. Right now, as with all my my auctions that I do, I do them in rounds. I do them in 1 penny rounds of maybe 110 to maybe 400 different items at one time. I let everything go at 1 penny a piece. Have no fear. Boom. 400 different items at one just time. Let it go. And I let everything go at one time. My brother-in-law and myself, we had the same items on eBay. Just let it go. And I was doing my 1 penny thing like I usually do. And he was starting his at a more modest 14, 20 bucks, whatever the case may be for the individual miniature. Now we had brand new miniatures in the pack, so there was no difference from what he had to I had. We were running them at the same time because we weren't aware of what each other was doing. So come towards the end of the auction, I noticed that he had gotten his 14, he's gotten his minimum bids, but his watchers were way down compared to mine. Now this makes perfect sense because when you look at your auctions, you know, you type in some you want to find, and you see there's one for 15 bucks and then there's one for a penny, and they're both going to end next week. Well, you're probably going to add the one to the one that costs a penny first, and that's just usually the way it works. So I had built up my watchers. Well, come that last couple of minutes, you know, bam. Mine just way surpassed anything that he got on. Every single lot that we had that was the same, I almost doubled or tripled sometimes his price. And it was just basically because we got the watchers. Now, I almost doubled. I've been doing this a while, so I've had, you know, a lot of watchers. I think I have 470 followers to my eBay store. I have another 500 local in Seattle that kind of watch my stuff. So I did have a little bit of an advantage there. But my main goal is not the money that I get for someone, although that's their concern. They want cash. Is to get the item seen. So I do everything that I possibly can to get the item seen, and if you put stuff down at a penny, people are going to look. So I do everything that I possibly. They go, ooh, a penny? Get the item. You combine shipping to have the items that I like. I'm going to go ahead and throw out, even if it's 6 cents. I'm cool with that. You know, it's all part of the process. So basically, what I do is I took this particular time a bunch of micro armor miniatures, and I've listed them kind of in little troops and little lots. And I don't do what most people do, which is they start their item when they finish it, you know, and they let it go for 7 days. I build mine up at a very high price to start with. Not super ridiculous, but I put them at a high price until I get everything listed. Very high and I just let them sit there. And people are like, oh, you're crazy, you're charging way too much. And I'm like, well, that's just because I don't want them to sell necessarily before the auction starts. I want to have as many items up when the auction goes as
possible. But if you're willing to pay full price for a good painted miniature or a D&D book, whatever the case may be, I'll make that sale. But it does slow me up from listing, so I want to minimize that a little bit. So I list everything at a real high price. Then the next most important step is I start everything 2 minutes from the last item. Then the next with these like micro armor that you're staring at now. 2 minutes from the last item. Each with these like micro armor that you're staring at now. Different listing that you have should pull in more people. So, and one you can see I've got 15 minutes to end this one, 17, 19, 20, and so some seconds. And this will allow people interested to go through one by one with me, as far as time, and bid on every single one. If you end them all at the same time or too spread out over the course of a day, 2, 3, at different times, you're just not really getting the full effect that you should, at least with a good collection. So this way here, I've separated everything into little lots to where, hey, one person might just want the trucks. He doesn't want to buy a great big collection just for something that he needs, unless he's going to turn around and sell it. If he's going to turn around and sell it, then he's going to want it at a very low price. So that doesn't do my seller, the person who owns these, it doesn't do him justice. And that's basically what I want to do, and it doesn't do the collector justice. So I've kind of parceled everything out in little lots, and now each individual buyer can pick up what they want, what they don't want. It's not great big collections. Sometimes I do some oddball things. You'll see the lot of 21 micro armor tanks. Things weren't matching in little units, so I figured, okay, we'll put a little lot there, and we'll see how that does. Now, these ones aren't going to have bidders that the Warhammer is going to have, so this is kind of why I started them first, kind of get the ball rolling nice and slow, get some low-priced auctions out of the way, and I'm still going to do pretty well on the micro armor stuff, but that's not really the main focus. I just want to get the ball rolling until we come down and get to the chaos stuff, which will start in around 1 o'clock. That's not really the main hour and 20 minutes from there. And we're going to see how these do in the last 10 seconds. That's when most of the bidding usually comes. We're going to see that last 10 seconds. And we're just going to see if I actually made money for this gentleman. Other things that I can tell you is it really is important for you to use the title the best you can. Other things that if you haven't used the full amount of space, you're doing something wrong. Use the title. I'll do it once in a great while, but it'll be a very unique process, which I do it like. If I have a bunch of stuff that's just left over after I've made all the nice auctions, I'll just put in quotes everything else. And that's not intended for people to search for on eBay. That's only for people who watch my store and go, oh, okay, he lotted everything else up in the end, and they can go ahead and bid. You'd be surprised. You sell your paintbrushes, your paints, the sprues. Every little thing can make money, so I list it. And if it doesn't, if somebody only pays 1 cent, I don't want it in my store. Let the gentleman have it. I have no problem with selling something for a penny if it's going to the perfect person, and nobody else is willing to pay more than me. It makes sense, right? So basically, that's how I do things. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the listing now. When I do them, I call them my 1 penny auctions, number 73, number 74. I think I actually made a mistake. states
when I do
on YouTube listing.
I call them my one penny auctions, number 73, number 74.
That's no big deal. Okay, in every auction, I let everybody know that there's hundreds of other things usually up for auction at the same time. Everything starts at 1 cent.
I let everybody know,
And they'll go, ooh, okay, let's go see what this guy has. And they'll take a good look at everything that I've got.
at the same time. Everything starts at 1 cent.
And I've done this literally 73 or 72 other times. This will be the 73rd. So, yeah, I built up a bunch of people over the course of time. Literally 73, and they watch my stuff. So I do pretty well. So, yeah, you might be asking, how does this pertain to me? You're selling miniatures and I sell trains. Well, the same thing. I'm actually trying to contact 2 people from Craigslist right now about their train collections. Not a train guy, but they are 2 relatively good-sized collections of scale trains. And I know how to sell them. Do the same thing I do here. 1 penny auctions for their stuff. I separate everything out into little lots. Usually, I try to stay below a pound because shipping these days is kind of high. I always combine shipping, for people who are like, oh, I gotta have this. I'm not trying to make a fortune on anyone on shipping. I'm just trying to, recoup what I pay to ship something out, maybe sometimes with a box. But, I have cotton here, I have paper, all kinds of packing supplies. Maybe sometimes I buy in bulk, so I get a better deal than, say, my customer would. And this all helps make cash. Basically, what I'm trying to do is make a paycheck for myself for the week while still getting the gentleman all the money that he wanted for his stuff. Basically, what I'm trying to do is make a paycheck for myself for the week. Basically, that's all I do. 1 penny auction things, 2 minutes apart from each one, so they can go ahead and keep bidding if you end them all at the same time. Like I said, they can't go ahead and snipe one out. They only have one that they can snipe out. All the other ones are ending at the same time, so that doesn't really help much. If you do it 2 minutes apart, you can snipe one, go to the next listing, you might want that one, snipe that, go to the next listing, you might want that, snipe that one in the last second, and back and forth. But this way nobody gets stuck with a bunch of items that they don't want. Everything is pretty well in little lots. This way nobody gets stuck with this, combine the shipping, boom. Easy, said and done. Really does help if you have a good eBay feedback. As you can see, I have 100%. I really does manage to stay at 100% my 20 plus years on eBay. I've had a couple of complaints, but I always deal with them the best I possibly can. I mean well, and as long as you try, you should do pretty well. But some people just don't try, and they're usually the ones that get, bad feedback. Although it can happen to anyone. I've actually had 2 bad feedbacks over the years. One gentleman didn't like the spelling in a book that I sold him, and he tried to mark me down for that. And another gentleman didn't like the way a cockpit was recreated in a model plane that I sold him. That was new in the box. And eBay struck both of those comics because, they just don't make much sense. But good feedback. So if you have a collection you want to sell and you have no feedback on eBay, good feedback. So if you might want to hand it off to someone else. A collection you want to sell and you have no feedback. You're going to have a lot of people that are just scared of zero feedback. And it's going to translate to bids. So if you have to, give it to somebody who's trustable. I would actually like to sell anybody's collection. So if you could get your items out to me, I'll do this exact same process that I'm doing for the gentleman today for you. Even if you want a video like this, so you can see everything plain and clear. I don't hide anything from my customers. items. It's just right there in front of your face. So easy to see, calculate everything up, figure out how much money you're supposed to make. Just right there in front of your face. And that's it. Basically, I do a 60-40 split. 60% for my buyer or seller, and 40% for me. Basically, I do 60. That's after eBay takes its 13% for my buyer. We split what's left. Shipping, I don't ever factor into it because the buyer pays for shipping, so don't even add the extra accounting into it. At the end, I'll give my buddy a spreadsheet with what everything sold for, his percentage, and I'll cut him a check. Actually, it'll be in cash at the end this time, I believe. But we have about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, possibly a little more, till the first item ends. Looks like we have 11 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes, I think. Oh, 5, excuse me. So, it's going to be relatively slow off the get-go, but we have 2 hours approximately of items that are going to end today. The boring stuff kind of comes up first if you're not a Warhammer fan, but we'll go through and we'll see how these items do in the last few minutes. I like to keep an eye on how many watchers translates into what kind of bids in the last few seconds. Well, some of these items don't actually have how many watchers. On the micro armor stuff, we probably have 4 to maybe 6, 7 watchers per item, some less, some more. So they won't do real well, but I expect to see some gains in the last 10 seconds, and that's what you guys are going to be able to see here with me today. So they won't do is let's just see how well this does. So basically, like I said before, I was trying to get the gentleman 1,500 cash at the end of this. Total sales right now, like I said before, was $234.99 before the auction even started. That was those ridiculously kind of high prices. I sold a couple of things. One guy made an offer on some chaos-looking dryads. 2 of them I sold for $125, and then one of the plastic tanks sold for $109.99 before the auction even started. So if you look through the lot numbers, you'll actually notice a couple of them are missing. That's because I sold them before the auction even started. So if you look through the Warhammer stuff, there's 20, 30, 40, 50 watchers on some of those, so I expect that last minute or so is just going to be fun. A lot of fun to watch. And some of those, let's see what else. That last minute or so is just going to be fun. If you want to sell your items through me, I am in just north of Seattle. So if you can get your items here, then I can sell them. D&D books, Warhammer miniatures, so really gamers really stick to me. Gamers and toys. I have a big fan following from both. But gamers, toys, comic books, coins, stamps, I've sold train sets, race car tracks, toys, comic books. One gentleman I'm trying to get a hold of right now has a ton of microphones from the 50s, you know, those big chrome style, and I was like, oh, I would love to try to sell those. Ham radios. There isn't anything that I really can't sell or don't want to sell, as long as it makes cash, and I'll do this exact same style. But anyway, looks like we only have a couple minutes to go, and we're going to see what the first item actually sells for. Looks like we only have a couple minutes to go. So I'll try to keep my eye on chat, although I really don't expect anybody to jump into the room. This is more of a video for people to watch. I'll try to keep my eye on chat, although I really don't expect anybody. We have 1 minute and 58 seconds left on this lot. For a lot of people that are watching, you'll notice that my time says 1 minute and 58 seconds, where somebody that's in my shop right now, that countdown is going. I'm not quite sure why I have to keep hitting refresh and my watchers don't right now, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. We've got how many watchers here? We've got 5 watchers. There's a minute and 12 seconds left at $4. Again, I don't expect this one will go up in price, but it is possible in the last few seconds. Minute and 12 seconds left at $4. These are getting seen on market. Again, I don't expect this one will go up in price, but it is possible in the last few seconds. Refresh again. These are getting seen on market. Again, I don't expect this one will go up in price, but it is possible. 47 seconds left. Now you can see I didn't go too crazy with the pictures. They're just good. You can see what they are. A little bit of loss here because I am up really close. These particular tanks are extremely small. So you can see decent detail. The guys who played this particular kind of game, they're pretty gung-ho. So they see a bunch of them at a penny. I'm sure they're going to go ahead and bid on quite a few of them. So even though I have 32, 33 listings of micro armor, I'm probably only going to bid on 6 or 7 shipping. So to different people, somebody's going to win a bunch of them. That's my guess in mind. And what do we have? $4. So no price advance in the last minute on that one. And again, like I said, I kind of expect that with these soft auctions in the beginning. It's only at 1 o'clock when those Chaos Warhammer things come up that I really expect to see some hardcore bidding. But we'll move on to the next one. Minute and 12 seconds on this one. Basically, it's just a bunch of little tanks again. But we'll move on to the next one. Which, considering their size, $4 for 9 or 10 of them, that's pretty average. It's not like these are painted incredible. They're just primed, usually in one color. So, like I said, I don't expect too much. That's pretty average. It's not like these are painted incredible. They're just primed, usually in 50 colors. So, like I said, I don't expect too much. That's pretty average. It's not like these are painted incredible. They're just 5 watchers, 11 bids. Like I said, I don't expect too much. That's pretty average. It's not like these are painted incredible. 27 seconds left. And I believe this is the same bidder as the last item. 27 check. So we have 11 seconds left. I can't expect much more than that, but we can always hope. And 2 seconds. Nope. Looks like that's solid 1050. That's not bad though. We can always hope. And I will mention that, you know, these little amounts start adding up. If I had put all these micro armor in one great big lot, I'm not sure I would have gotten over 50, 60 bucks, maybe 70. I think we're going to blow that out of your water when said and done. We'll find out here in a little bit. But I think we'll get substantially more than the 70 if I had listed them all as one great big lot. It's a lot more work, so I definitely deserve the cash, but it is what it is. So this one here we have it's a minute and 20 seconds left, 5 bids, and it is what it is. So this one here we have it's a minute and 20 seconds left, 5 bids, and sometimes you'll get that when the miniature prices got to kind of the top, and people are just like, oh, yeah, I'm not paying any more than that. I'm just going to take it off of my watch list. Miniature prices, and there's not much I can do about that. But at least, you know, it's $20.50 for a bunch of tanks and planes. There's not much I can do. I really didn't have 4 or 5, which is normally the $20.50 for a bunch of tanks. You're trying to make a unit, so 3, 4, 5 tanks in a unit is about right. This is just kind of the misfits and little bits, and they're always useful to someone. Maybe a guy has
the tanks, but the turrets missing, and I have 3 of the turrets right there on maybe the tanks. Boom. Now he's got some stuff he can complete, but the turrets missing. But what do we have? The turrets right there on his time.
3 seconds, 2050. I don't think that one's gonna go up.
What do we have?
But still, so far we're looking at what? $30, $34, $35, and we're only through 3 of them. Not so bad. Next item. $34, $35.
Let's see. No watchers again.
Next item. 108 page views. That's not bad considering how very specialty this item is. So I wouldn't say that's great, and I wouldn't say that's bad. It's just kind of like right in the middle, maybe a little better on the good side. I wouldn't say that's great, but 6 bids, no watchers. I can't imagine this one's going to go up too much either. I do like these though. I hate usually war games that aren't fantasy or sci-fi. Just hits a little too close to home. I had a buddy, his father, when I was growing up, was a drill sergeant of some sort. So during the summer, he was trying to wake us up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get us to do push-ups and stuff. Every conversation he ever started with the guy would come back to war. He could be talking about Krispy Kreme and 3 sentences back to war. So I kind of lost any luster for that. The history was absolutely fascinating. But as far as me playing a game, I want to get away from reality, and fantasy is more my thing than sci-fi, because even sci-fi is guns. And I'm not anti-gun by any means, but swords and magic, way more cool coming from a guy who started off his career playing D&D. So I don't really appreciate the war stuff that much. Okay, so we got 375 on this one, 7 bids, so I don't really appreciate. Not too bad. Some guy will be stoked that he got himself some new trucks at a good price. The next one, not too bad. 4 more trucks, I believe. Yep. Again, 6 watchers this time. Only 6 cents. So I expect this one will go up, but I can't really guarantee. 6 watchers this time. Only 6 cents. This is actually, these micro armor is part of a collection I got from a good friend, and I'm still a couple $1,000 away from paying him off, but I'm still not part of a collection I got from a good friend. His stuff. I've got these micro armors still to get rid of, and a couple other things that are his, and one good payday left coming for him, still to get rid of, and then I'll move on to another big account. This account was a good 5-6 year account. This guy had a lot of stuff. He's a really good friend. I'll move on to another. I haven't had the money to pay him back as of quite yet, but that's coming here real soon. I should do pretty darn well today. And like I said, his account's been spanning over years, so I think he understands that it's going to be just a little more time, but he practically filled my little store with his stuff. I couldn't move in there. So I've been selling his stuff ever since. It's been fun. The guy has a great eye for buying miniatures, anything that can correspond with miniatures, fish tank supplies that he can use with his 15mm scale stuff for fantasy. Just overall, fantastic Northwest collector of stuff. Okay, so looks like at the last minute went from 6 to a $1.90. That's not too bad. That's again still a little low from what I want, but I think we're gonna still do well overall. But basically, that's what 40 times what it was at a couple seconds ago. So I'm not complaining. If I could do that on a lot of them, I'd be happy. We have 64 auctions, I think, that are going to end today. And another 35 or 40 that are going to end tomorrow. 64 auctions. So our next one, again, 6 cents. 1 minute left to go. Only 52 page views. 5 watchers. 6 cents. And I'm hoping this one does relatively the same. Another $2-3 views. They'll start adding up. Make it at least a little worth my time investing. Relatively the same. Another $2-3. Let's see. They'll start adding up. Make it at least a little worth my time investing. And you'll see if I keep hitting refresh a little more often. You'll see once it gets down to that 10-second mark is usually where the bids kick in. You'll see if I keep hitting refresh 6 cents, 15 seconds, hit it again, 6 cents, 9 seconds. So people are paying attention today. You said 151, nice, okay. Not much of an increase, but not bad, I'll take it. So people are paying attention today. You said 151. Next item. Not much of an increase, but not bad. I'll take it. So people are paying attention today. You said 151. Next item. Not much of an 8 watchers. Okay, yeah. These aren't trucks. These are tanks. People are a little more attached to the tanks. So we got 8 watchers, $1.30. These aren't trucks. These are tanks. Again, another name that I recognize from some of the other bids. So we got 8 watchers, $1.30. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Another name that I recognize from some of the other bids. So we got 8 watchers, $1.30. I'm going to take a guess on this one and say $3.50. I'm going to take a guess what I'll get and say $3.50. I'm going to take a guess what I'll get and say $3.50. I'm going to take a guess. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with these little miniatures here. No paint, just nice and plain. 4 of them in a little case. I'll tell you, I don't like these ones because these little miniatures here, no paint, just gun parts here are so thin that I'll tell you, I actually broke a couple of them just taking pictures. I had to delete the listings here. So very delicate little things. I've seen people fix them, but I try not to sell too many items that people have to fix. Maybe if it's super rare, or they can use it for parts, but I generally don't like doing that. Unless I do, like I said before, everything else. Alright, bunch everything else up. I'm done making good quality listings. Boom. And people love those sometimes more than the actual miniatures because they just get this bag or box of broken bits and parts that are still good that they can use, conversion pieces, so these little lots of things sell pretty well. But overall, it's what you do in the whole auction all together that really counts, and selling every little bit does help. So let's see what we have here. We have 190. Okay, so I was way off on that. The 8 watchers really didn't matter. So let's see what we have from Underdog, which I believe Underdog may have purchased from me before. As you can see, that was at 1 penny. This one was at 1 penny. 6, 1, 1, 1. So there was a lot that was still at a penny. As you can see, that was at and that's okay. Like I said, if I sell one and it just gets a penny, more power to the guy that bought it. At least it's going to get played. It's not going to get the trash. It's going to be destroyed. It's just some true collector who loves it will get it. Will get it. And hopefully that will in turn come back on me. Hopefully he'll go, oh, I know this guy, he sells stuff, and he does, it's at a penny, and doesn't always have the stuff I want. I do, I get a great price. You get low shipping because he combines shipping, although I still wouldn't call it low. And person whose items I sell, boom, I've got more people, and it just grows. I wouldn't say I'm huge, but I've got some pretty good fan following. Just grows. Let's see what we have on this one. 13 seconds left, and it's at 1 cent. Got some pretty good fan following. Doesn't look like any watchers. 13 seconds left. Although I don't trust eBay to get everything right all the time. Like, there could be watchers and they're just not saying it in this listing. There's so many errors on eBay that, yeah, I don't really trust it completely. But, oh, 275, so there's so many errors. We went up $2.74 in the last couple of seconds. Good, because I needed it. Makes it at least worth my time. $2.74 in the last couple. What's next? Good, because I needed it. And it probably would have helped if I knew the names of these individual tanks. But to be honest with you, when it comes to military tanks, trucks, I can't tell what country they're for. I've tried, I'm just not interested enough. I can't tell what country. Unless it has a star or a swastika or an Israeli star or whatever, I just can't tell what they're from. So every name that I have on these is kind of generic, but they should be grouped together enough to where people will see them and go, well, okay, this guy's got a bunch of stuff. We'll go ahead and waste our time and look. They should be grouped together. As for this lot, 40 seconds, 130, 6 watchers. As for this lot, this is a pretty unique tank. These little tiny guns that they have, I almost tossed them away thinking that they were flashing from the old metal sprues or whatever they call them. But come to find out, I looked through a magnified glass and went, oh, okay, these are actually guns. I can't toss these. But come to find out, I got the right tanks. I put them back on. So now we've got 4 glass tanks. I think I actually have 8 of these style tanks here. 40 seconds. Let's see what we have. I think I actually have 225 style tanks. 40 seconds again. So that's good because I'm not paying the 30 cents per every transaction for the PayPal or the eBay minimum fee. That's good because I'm not paying the 30 cents. When I group it all together and invoice the guy, I only have to pay that 30 cents once. So that's actually kind of nice. When I group it all together and invoice the guy, I only have to pay that 30 cents once. So that's actually kind of nice. Same one. 4 more of just that exact same tank. This one's at 6 cents. It should end up pretty close to the same, I would imagine. Just that exact same tank. It's pretty funny sometimes when you're doing this. I'll notice sometimes I'll have 50 watchers, low price, and it won't get bids. It's pretty funny. And I'll notice once in a great while, no watchers, no bids, and have it skyrocket at the last second. It's what in the world is going on? But that's the fun of it. You're going to lose on some of them you're going to just be amazed that they got that kind of price. But that's the fun of it. This particular game, it's kind of outdated. I think it was 70s and 80s was its heyday. So this is a little more obscure. The Warhammer is more mainstream. But I sell games, and there isn't a game I won't try to sell. So when I get these, I list them, and we get what we can. Let's see, 9 seconds, 6 cents. 4 seconds, 6 cents. Let's see, 9 seconds. 350, nice. 6 cents. Again, 4 seconds, 6 cents. Not really a huge increase. Like you're going $3. I can't even buy Starbucks with that. No, but I'm getting $3, $2 every 2 minutes. It'll add up. some guy wanted just 4. If he wanted 12, he can still bid on all 3 lots. I wasn't going to list get all 12. But this doesn't force them to overbuy. And it's kind of nice. Sometimes it doesn't work in my favor. Most of the time it does. This doesn't force them to overbuy. So these should be the last kind of nice. This particular style tank. Most of the time this doesn't force them to overbuy. It's actually pretty detailed for being so small. These tanks are 3/4 an inch, maybe even less. Pretty length. So these are micro armor. 3/4. Being a fantasy sci-fi guy, we call this 6mm. I believe it's 1/28 scale. Being a fantasy, really small sci-fi guy. Pretty cool though. 6mm. I believe it's. I mean, I'm impressed with the details that micro armor got for the time frame that they got. Pretty cool though. 6mm. Pretty impressive. I mean, I'm impressed with to say the least. Ooh, okay, 228 in the last couple of seconds. Pretty impressive. 356. Da wins them again. Ooh, okay, 228 in the last couple of seconds. Next lot. 356. Da wins them again. Now, next lot. These 356. The Shermans. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a U.S. tank. Might be Shermans, which if they are, usually come in 5s. I'm not 100% sure. I know that. I just can't tell if these are Shermans. Might be Shermans, which for sure. They are usually come in 5s. I'm not 100% sure. I know that. I just can't tell if these are Shermans. 1 minute 34. We have 2 bids. Looks like no watchers. 45-page views. 34. Again, this one should go up to a couple of bucks, 2, 3. Looks like no watchers. 45-page views. 34. I do try to spread everything out a couple of bucks, where there's a little something for everyone. 1 or 2 bigger lots, some smaller lots, some painted lots, some not painted lots. There's a little something for everyone. I even put 2 bigger lots, trees, smaller lots, a lot of novels. Some should be ending tomorrow, I believe, possibly today. I forget. Trees, a lot of novels. What else did I put up there? Oh, Asterix. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It's kind of this German cartoon, from what I can gather. And my buddy has come up with a little figurine set, supposed to have 10, but it only had 9. And my buddy, when we looked at them, they were all painted. Little figurine paint job blew me away. I rarely use the word pro paint job. It's one of those terms where pro to me might not be pro to you, vice versa. So I just don't generally like to use the word pro. To me might not be pro to you, vice versa. It just runs into too many issues. This one, however, I had no issues with. That was piece of cake, easy call. Just some of the top painters in the world paint like this. I wouldn't say he's top 10 or 50, but I'd say he's in the top 1,000, 2,000 range. I wouldn't say he's top. The miniatures look fantastic. Very cartoony, very Knights of the Round Table, top 1,000 round table, so to speak, in the way they look. And you'll see them if you watch part 2, because I think they end tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, let's take a look at this one here. You'll see them if you watch 351. Underdog once again. So as you can see, let's take a look at this. 3 or 4 buyers just go ahead and pick up a whole bunch of things. So this is good for me. Combined shipping. I won't have to send out a whole bunch of stuff. It'll be a couple of guys getting most of it. I'm sure they're going to share it with their friends. You know, if he's playing U.S. tanks and he's bought a couple Russian tanks for his buddy for a different way, because what's $2 or $3? Playing U.S. tanks. So we'll see what's up here next. More tanks. 12 seconds. because I was a little slow. So at least we don't have long. We'll see what's up here next. So 91 page views. I don't see any watchers. 2 bids, 125. Let's see what we have. So 91 page views. $1. I'll take it. Don't see any watchers. 2 bids, 125. Next one. These ones are kind of weird. I wasn't even 100% sure if these were complete or what to call them. These look like those, if you remember in the movie Saving Private Ryan, when they first pull up on the beach, these look like those, that tailgate drops down and then all of them just kind of get shot inside. That's what these things are, I do believe. But I'm not quite sure what to call them. When I looked them up on eBay under the word transport, just really wasn't coming up with much. So I just leave the name vague, and the collectors know what to do. Really will look and go, oh, okay, that's what this is. Sometimes they'll let me know, hey, this is incomplete. Sometimes they'll say, that's what you should have put them in. Sometimes they'll let me know, hey, that's what a minimum unit is. And we make mistakes, but you just go with it. Because I am dealing in things that are like each other from next auction to the next. If I was doing toys spread out all over the place, nothing was really like, I had some Doctor Who, I had some Marvel, I had some little kid toys from the 70s, then this style doesn't work quite as well. Some little kid toys, because they're going, well, I look in the store and he's got tons of other toys, but nothing I collect. Where with these micro armor and the Warhammer, they're going, okay, I play Warhammer, and he's got tons of other toys, but 100 other listings of Warhammer. So then they'll take their time and look. Like I said, when people think that something's out of penny, they're gonna go look and see everything that you've got most of the time. So we have 225 with 134 to go. Most of it. 424. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So we have a little better. Still not where I want to be on these, but I wasn't expecting that much. 424. Okay, now we're getting. All right. So what? A little better. Still not where I want. These tanks. Okay, but these ones, I wasn't expecting. Not quite sure what you call these. They were a little longer than most of the rest of them, not by much. Okay. And they look pretty extreme to me. Again, look at the detail. They were a little longer than most of them. Not to brag on my own pictures. I'm not an arty picture kind of guy, but you can pretty much see some good detail for those being an inch long. It's hard to focus correctly on something when they're that small. So I thought I did pretty good, but focus correctly. I would like to get them better, if I could. I thought I did pretty good. Pretty much says it. These guys know what they're buying. Anybody who's going to purchase these, most likely already played the game. He's knowing exactly what these miniatures are. It's no surprise to him. Most likely already played. And this way here, I don't have to know the names. What collectors will come through, they'll recognize what they are. If I name everything right, then they might not always look at selectors, but if it has almost a vague name, they're going to go through and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's a Russian tank, I don't play those. But they'll have looked, and that's a help. So with this one we have 125, 66 page views. Again, so with this one we have 125, I think that's 66 page views, but let's see what we have. Again, 265. This one we have 125, not so bad. I think that's 66 page views, but let's see what we have. Again, 265. This was one of my favorite of the little trucks. This kind of reminds me of a micro machine. Very almost snub-nosed truck kind of deal. I really like this one. I almost kept these just to paint and then list at another time, just because it kind of looked play these kind of war games with the tanks and stuff, but I'm a miniature painter, so this wouldn't be an issue for me. This would be a lot of fun. But I like this. So I don't know if you can see it here. The little truck hoods. I kind of like the way those go together. Just something about it. It kind of reminds me of the old Mad Max. Mad Max. Kind of like the Stephen King film together. Where all the trucks came out alive. Had the green goblin head on the front. Kind of reminds me of one of those. So I wanted to keep these, but you know, I'm gonna be moving to Idaho before too long. Kind of reminds me of those. Carrying too many metal miniatures is just gonna cost me. I'm gonna be moving to Idaho. So I might as well get rid of everything here and buy more when I get there. I'll find collections to pick up. That's not a big deal. So let's see, $1.92. That's, I probably should have kept that for that. Collections to pick up. That's not. But and who'd agree to? Underdog once again. That's, I probably should have kept that for that. Collections to pick up. Let's see. So Underdog. Hey, thanks, man. I don't know if you're ever gonna actually see this video or not, but I appreciate you going out and buying our stuff. I don't know if you're ever going to. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it even more than the last guy did. The last guy just had too much stuff. He didn't get to enjoy it that much because he had a 3-bedroom house and garage, chock full of gaming stuff. There's no way he could have ever gotten into it. 3-bedroom house and garage. Game on. So our next one is 32 seconds left, $51 and 12 watchers. 347 hits this time. 32 seconds left, $51. So I think at 51 this is topped out. There's a lot of trucks here, a lot of little parts. So that complete trucks. So we could get a little bit of bidding in the last few seconds, but I don't expect too much more than 51. That's a solid price. And if you add up what we've already sold, I'm doing well on this particular collection. That's a solid already. We still have more options left to go. We've already sold. So I'm going to hit refresh. And 55. So we got a couple more bucks. I'm happy with that. Overall, you can see just tons of little trucks. Now they're supposed to have people inside, and that's what these little sprue looking, they almost look like little missiles or something. Those are people sitting side by each. And yeah, just a nice little lot of parts that guys who collect this stuff could use. So I'm very happy with that. $55 for that little lot of parts. That's pretty good. So I'm very happy with that. $55. And that was from Petra. So that's pretty good. Next we have, okay, some more painted. These ones were actually half decent painted. Next we have not finished, like I would still be picking on details, but this is pretty cool. Somebody can use this as a little touch up. Boom, they're done. They're ready to rock and roll. Good tanks, from what I'm to understand. My buddy who plays the game, he took a look at them and was like, ooh, yeah, I kind of like these. I don't know what that is in game terms, but they kind of look cool. And $5 a piece. We're sitting about what I would expect. $1 per tank. This small is okay. If you have some of the rare ones, they can go for $5 or $6 per little tank. But for the most part, you're buying them in units just like this. You can commonly find these brand new in the package for $10, $15 for 5, 4. I wouldn't say a lot, but if you search around for a couple of months, you're likely to see a whole bunch of them. And 19 seconds, 550, Petrov has it. 550 it is. That's kind of topped out. I have no complaints with that. Now we have 550 it is. I have no complaints with that. 5 little trucks. Now we have 550 it is. I'm thinking it's German, but I can't tell. 5 little trucks. Anyway, looks like we have 5 watchers, 11 cents, 68 page views. Anyway, we should see a little bit of action here right towards the end. 11 cents, 68 page views. Anyway, we should see 1 minute of action in seconds. Now, when we do see the last of the micro armor auctions come up and we switch over into Warhammer, we should actually have a little bit of a break. When I do these auctions, I try not to have anybody sitting for more than an hour in a row without a little break in there. Most of the time it's not a big deal, as certain buyers won't need certain items, so they can get up and walk away 5-15 minutes in between the next one. But if there's somebody that wants to look at them all, then it pays 5-15 minutes in between the next one. But if there's somebody that wants to look at them, I lost my train of thought. Let's see here. 165, 10 seconds left. Let's see here. 190, 165, 10 seconds 190. Left. Let's see here. 190, 165, 10 seconds 190. Left. Let's see here. Alright, so next we have again another nice 5 tanks. Nothing wrong with these ones. Really good detail. So next we have, I of course include the little plastic case with it. 5 tanks. Keep them in good shape. Really good detail. Of course include the little plastic case. Let's see. It's at 1 cent. No watchers. 60 page views. Might we have our first item that ends for a penny? Usually if I list 100 to 300 different things, 1% of them don't get bids. Or if they do, it's just that 1 cent. 100 to 300 different things. Not a big enough deal for me to care about, you know. Or if they do, it's just that 1 cent. But it happens. And like I was saying before, that's part of people coming back. This guy literally just lets them go. I hate telling people, hey, unless you have X amount of dollars, you can't play this game. Literally just lets them go. You know, sometimes I have to do that. Hey, I really don't enjoy it. But you know, I gotta sell these things, get them moved, sometimes and move on to the next collection. So yeah, I could have had them sitting in my store, but they sat there for a year or 2, possibly even more, without selling at $8-9. Well, let's just get them moved. I can get this person paid and move on to the next one. So let's see what we have here. Let's just get them moved. $2.25. Cheap. Somebody's getting a good deal. You know what? So let's see what we have here. What was that one? $2.25. Cheap. Underdog again. Okay. Next. Yep, we're getting close down to the end there. Underdog again. Okay. Next, this one has 5 watchers, 145 page views. That's pretty good. Underdog again. $5. Can't expect those to go up too much more. I'm gonna guess $8.50 on these ones. Those look kind of mean and beefy. Can't expect those to go up so much more. I'm gonna guess towards the end here. Those look kind of mean and beefy. $5.50, and their winner is Underdogs. So underdog, if you happen to see this, I think I already thanked you, but thank you.
Winner is underdog. So underdog, if you
Let's just see if he actually wins them. I think I already thanked you, but thank you. 5:50, 20 seconds left. Let's just see if he actually wins them. I think I already thanked you, but thank you. 10 seconds left. 5:50, 20 seconds left. Let's just see if he actually wins them. I think I already thanked you. 6. Thank you. 10 seconds left. 20 seconds left. $6. Yeah. Little under what I thought, but not too terribly bad. A little over $1 a tank. That's not too bad. Next one. Little under what I thought, but not too terribly bad.
Again, these are the ones I thought before were Sherman tanks.
Next one.
I really can't tell. I think they're U.S. They look like
these are the ones I
they're
thought
U.S. to me.
Sherman tanks. Either way, some pretty cool little figs.
I think they're
We have
US. They look like these are the ones I thought
1 cent, no watchers, 67. Either way, some pretty cool little figs. We have 1 cent, no watchers, 67. Either way, some pretty cool little figs.
Yes, $3.50 on these ones as well.
1 cent, no watchers, 67.
Now, you can make some money if you're doing
on
these ones as well.
Books, and I can do it with these, not quite so much. But when you're using media mail and you're listing hundreds and hundreds of books at one time, you can say each extra book is $1 extra shipping. Okay, cool. With Dungeons and Dragons books, sometimes they're 350 pages. Sometimes they're as little as 32 or 16 for a module or whatnot. So when you're getting $1 extra for shipping for each additional book, and those books are really thin, so you can make a substantial amount. I wouldn't say a lot, but you can look. It helps. Every little bit helps. A little more cash if they buy 50. Now they're paying for $6 for the thickest book to be shipped out medium mail, and then $1 extra for each other book that they want. For $6, you might only spend 23 shipping them out, and so you'll get to keep about $20. Sometimes you cut guys a break. One time I did it, and I actually had all the 16-page modules, but they were half size, so they weren't 11 by 8 inches wide. They were 11 by, I believe, 4 half size, 4 maybe 5, but they're half size books. And the gentleman kind of got mad that I charged them so much in shipping, but I really hadn't remembered it off the top of my head. So I cut him a deal. He's like, "Hey, these are half-size books." I'm like, "Yeah, they're really thin and they're half-size books." So yeah, I charged him a whole lot less. It made perfect sense. I'm not trying to get rich off of shipping. Every little bit does help, since I have to buy brand boxes and labels and stuff like that. But overall, we do find buy brand boxes. What do we have? 450. Yep, those are probably U.S. tanks. Next one, 37 seconds left. What do we have? We have 450. Yep, those are again. These ones had little side panels. Next one, 37 seconds. Extra armor, I think. Cool looking little tanks. Again, look at the detail on those tracks and the wheels. That's for being an inch long. Cool looking as they are. That's fantastic. Look at the detail on those. So we have no watchers, 72-page views, $5. Cool looking as they are. That's $6. So we have no watchers. One more time. $6. Not so bad. $6. So we have no watchers. One more time. See the Warhammer stuff on the way, which is good because I need a cigarette break, and our break time is almost here. See the Warhammer stuff on the way. So with this next one, 5 tanks. Break time is almost here. Pretty good detail. Again, looks like it might be U.S. This next one. 5 tanks. I'm not sure. Pretty good detail. 226. Looks like it might be U.S. Supposedly no watchers. 59 page views. I'm not sure. Pretty good detail. A little better than average for these particular style
no
watchers. 59 page views. I'm not sure. A little better than average for these particular style. 1 minute, 7 seconds left. Now with the Warhammer miniatures, I have customers in the UK that buy a lot of my Warhammer stuff, especially if it's older. I have customers Europe in general. I sell that buy a lot of my Warhammer to France quite often, Italy, and Australia. So the reason I was listing everything for 1 o'clock today is if you're in the United States, you're on the West Coast, 12 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, it's a little later in the day. If you're in the UK, it's just a little bit before bedtime. They're likely to be home. And if you're in Australia, it's the very beginning, just a little bit before bedtime. So I tried to cover that, all 3 time zones, 4 actually. What would be the best listing? Tried to cover that as per the buyers that I have. I can't list these anymore at 8 o'clock at night here because that's middle of the night. Or very, very early morning in the UK, and I'll lose those bids. So timing is really a specific, important thing. So when you have customers for trains, so timing is, I don't know particularly what day that they don't work. So that would be the day that I want to list them. Is days that they don't work or that they don't work. So that would be for instance, if you're selling anything on Friday or Saturday night, you're listing them and they're ending on a Friday and Saturday night, probably not a good idea. People are out for the weekends, enjoying themselves. Gamer groups are usually currently gaming, so don't list it if they're already playing with someone else. They're not likely to see it unless you have a shirt that says I don't do anything but sit on eBay on Friday night. That would be the one item that you do list on Friday night. So you play somewhere it makes the most sense for your buyers, and that would be the one item that you do list. We'll find out pretty soon if I caught the Warhammer crowd. You play somewhere it makes the most sense for your buyers. Anyway. 305 underdog one once again. Next item is 305 more Sherman once again. Anyway, it's that same style tank that we were selling before. Next item and $6. Oh, it already ended. I was a little slow. 9 bids. That's not too bad. $6. We'll go to the next one. Oh. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. 9 bids. That's not too bad. $1. 1 cent bids. 88. 2 minutes in Utah. Gamer James. 9 bids. That's not too bad. I don't think I've seen his name yet. 1 cent bids. 88. 2 minutes in Utah. Gamer James. Really showing you watchers. I'm sure I have some. No, that can't be right. So I was pretty sure I had at least 1 watcher on every item I had. I'm sure I have some. At least, I think only 2 or 3 items had 1 watcher. Everything else was above that. But we'll see what it works out to be. 1 cent, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Above that. But we'll see what it works out to be. 1 cent, 1 minute and 30 seconds. 14. 1 cent. 30 seconds. 14. Let's see if we can see some of the detail here. These ones a little less detail, or maybe the tanks weren't that detailed anyway. But they still look pretty good. You're going to be able to game with these just fine. Detail, or maybe the tanks
but you can see
detailed anyway. Here, but they still look pretty good. Where some of the guns and the flashing, which is the extra metal that comes out of the mold. Here, when you're molding these, or casting them, flashing is the same thickness. Extra metal that comes out of the mold. I had to keep it all just because I didn't know if I was throwing out little bits or guns or whatnot. It's the same thickness. And I still have a little pile of stuff sitting up off to the side. All just because I didn't know if I was throwing out. Pretty sure it's all just junk stuff. It's not actually guns, but I figured I'd put it aside just in case. I'm pretty good with miniatures. Again, the war stuff, not quite so much, but just in case. Alright, so 125. Again, the war stuff. Underdog once again, thank you. Alright, so 125. We're coming close to the break time. Again, the war stuff. Underdog once again, thank you. I got lots of new messages to check, which I just can't do right now. I'll have to check those. Most likely it's just going to be guys asking if I combine shipping, which, let's see if I have put that in here. I'll have to check those. Shipping will be based on weight and location. We also combine shipping on auctions, which, let's see, I think I put it up here somewhere too. Shipping will be based on weight and location. We also combine shipping. We do combine shipping, yep, so it's in multiple places. People never read descriptions. Just 2 weeks ago, I had a lady order a lunchbox. People never read descriptions. And the lunchbox was super rare, but it was destroyed. 2 weeks ago, and I took really good pictures, described the damage exactly right, and the whole idea of us selling it was it's good enough for a prop. I sell actually a lot of the items that I have in the toys, especially to prop houses. Lunchboxes always gets bought up by a prop house that I have in the toys, at least these older ones. So I figured that's where it goes. And the lady, she got it and she complained, and I'm like, how can you complain? If you didn't look at the pictures and you didn't read the description, she got it and she complained, both of which show the damage clear as day. How can you possibly buy something? It just baffled me. I don't get it. But there are people out there who's got more money than they have time, I guess. So she was kind enough not to give me bad feedback because I did what I was supposed to do. I took pictures of the damage. She was kind enough, listed it, described it super well, and when she went back and she looked at it, she's like, I'm not going to leave you bad feedback because it was kind of my fault. She didn't admit to it, but I kind of got that feeling. She looked at it, she's like, I'm not going to that. She understood it was her mistake. It was kind of so my fault. She didn't. All I could do was thank her. You don't want bad feedback, especially when you do what you're supposed to, but it happens. Even though I have 100%, it wasn't due to me not fighting for my customers, for myself. And there's been a few in there that have been dicey. I have one auction going right now where the gentleman's just about fed up with me as far as me getting the item dicey. I have one auction going right now. I packaged it, got it out in time, did everything the way it's supposed to be done. However, in customs, it got stuck in San Francisco and has been scanned in and out almost every single day for 2.5 months. Well, just recently, right as he complained and said he wanted his cash back, the tracking number has been showing in Shanghai. And so him and I kind of had this thing where it's like, hey, I can only do what I'm supposed to. He said, just do what you have to do as a buyer to protect yourself. I'll have no qualms about that. But the miniatures will be there, so likely you'll walk away with the cash and the miniatures, and there's nothing I can really do about it.
but the miniatures will. He hasn't pushed it through yet, so he's been being really cool about it, and most people will. But at the same time, you don't get your goods, you paid for them, you want a refund. I most certainly cool about it, and most people will. Where are we here? At the same time, you don't get your goods, you paid for them, you want a refund. Go check it out. Most certainly cool about it. 475. At the same time, 122. Petrov got it. Now we're on 475. Last two. Before we take a quick break, go grab yourself a drink, smoke a cigarette, do whatever you gotta do. And before we take a quick break, go grab yourself a drink, smoke a cigarette, do whatever you gotta do. And we'll resume with the Chaos Army. Sorry about that. I saw that somebody had actually jumped into the chat room, and I wanted to say hi. I took my chaos attention off of what I was doing for a second. Sorry about that. So we got 42 seconds left on this last, second to last one. I suppose this one will go up a little bit. 42 seconds left. Pretty much just based, dry brushed, decent little tanks. I suppose can't complain about that. Nine of them. Pretty much just might get a little bit of bidding here in the last few seconds. Decent little tanks. I suppose can't complain about that. Nine of them. 325, and then again maybe a little bit of bidding here in the last few seconds. 5 1/4, basically. Okay, not so bad. 325, and then again maybe a little bit of bidding here in the last. And the last lot before we take an 11-minute, not so bad, 10-minute break. So this one here is just a bunch of micro armor little dudes, little people, not the tanks, but the guys that would go with the tanks or whatnot, the infantry. Some guns, some people, not the tanks. Looks like the guys that would go with the bunkers or cannons, or I'm not quite sure, gunner teams of some sort. But yeah, I can't. How am I supposed to know whether that's Israeli or Russian or United States? I just can't tell. So gave it a very generic name, a lot number, and it's not doing too bad. These could fit probably inside of 2 packs. So we're looking at about $20 worth, maybe a little bit more. These could fit probably of miniatures in 2 packs. So not all of these are complete, but the guys are generally there. There's one that's missing. Three little guys. Well, there's a couple little guys right over there. But the guys are generally there. Basically, it's pretty complete. But I'm just letting the guys who know the most about them buy them, and then they can do what they want. So basically, it's pretty so 2 minutes left to go. Guys who know the 39 seconds. Don't expect much bidding here, but we do have 5 watchers, 314 page views. Don't expect much bidding here. I will take a break for 10 minutes, 314 page views. Don't expect much bidding here. I will take a break for 10 minutes, 314 page views. 39 seconds, 12 seconds. Maybe I'll take a couple of seconds here to see if I can answer some of these messages without interrupting my break too much. Take a couple of seconds here to see if I can. All right, so 1905. Okay, nice little jump there in the last few seconds. So I'm going to go back here and take our break. We got 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, nice little jump there. But before I do that, I am going to run up here. See what this guy has to say. 30 seconds. But before I do that, I'm going to run up here and see what this guy has to say. 30 seconds. Before I do that, okay, I'll be sure to keep an eye on it, though I've got plenty of models to paint already. It's rarely turned down. Okay, so that was
this is concerning bots, which is transformer-like toys for little kids. Real cute, but that's not part of what we're doing today. So I'm just gonna ignore most of those for now. For little kids. Real cute. That's not part of what we're doing today. So and just gonna ignore most of those for now. For little kids. There we go. That's what will be next in 7 minutes. I will see you in 7 minutes. And there we go. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Be next in 7 minutes. I will see you in 7 minutes. And there we go. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Be next in 7 minutes. I will see you in 7 minutes. And there we go. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Be next in 7 minutes. I will see you in 7 minutes. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Be next in 7 minutes. I will see you in 7 minutes. basically I'll probably have a friend chop up the video here, and we're gonna kind of start fresh. So first thing I'm gonna do is go back up to the top. I'll probably have a friend chop up the video, refresh on my store. We're gonna kind of start with all the chaos items right up. We got 2 minutes. So I'll explain what we're doing here. Basically, we have a chaos army that I got off of Craigslist. The gentleman wanted, I believe it was $1,000. Could have been 1,200. Basically, we have a chaos up a little bit. And I didn't want to buy them, so I told him I'd sell them for it and try to get him as much money as I could. Every listing that we have will be ending 2 minutes apart. And this is the army we're talking about. Tomorrow we'll have his IG, Astra, Militarium, or whatever you want to call it, Imperial Guard. But today we have the Chaos Space Marine, custom job, fantastic overall army look, individual paint jobs, as you'll see, Chaos through them, aren't quite as nice, but the army complete is just fantastic. So I expect we'll see some pretty good results here and a lot of page views as we're going through. Basically what I did is I listed individual units, individual tanks, defilers, everything individual as best as I could. Rather than all 6 bikes, I did 2 units of 3s. Space Marines I did in 5s. Everything because a unit can be 5 or 10. And if they're in 5s, you can go ahead and win 1 or 2 of them. You can win just 1. You can win all 8 of them and have a ton. You can do what you want. It's kind of, you can customize. You can pick which ones you want. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the picture. We've got 14 seconds left on the defiler, which was at 46. And let's hope it goes for more. I didn't have too much hope for this particular miniature. Defilers are weird. And let's hope expensive, but I'm just not confident it's going to get much more. 49. First listing of the day, I started off with a good item. So, you know, it's only because I had 2 of these that I put one at the beginning and one towards the end. But 49 overall isn't too bad for this particular model. I would have liked to have seen more, but it's the first miniature of these listings. Overall isn't too. So now we have, which is my favorite miniature out of the Chaos Space Marines that I got off of this guy, which is a Hellbrute, but it's been modified, like I said, with this Dryad Ent kind of feel, and I think this model just turned out fantastic. With this Dryad here, you can see he's got the woodland kind of face. It's still a Hellbrute, but it's been chaosified, and I think it looks fantastic. This is probably one of the most watched items or chaos that I do have today. This is probably, again, the paint job isn't perfect, but overall as an army they look great. So, and it's got a magnet on the paint job isn't perfect, and we have overall 1 minute 33 seconds, 42 seconds, $27, 544 page views. That's pretty good, especially for a custom job. So hopefully we'll get some bidding going on here in the last few seconds. That's pretty good. 27 isn't a bad price for that, but I still feel there's much more potential upside in seconds. 27 isn't a bad price for that, but I still feel there's much more potential upside. And another question. I'll get to that right after this action. 4. Ooh, maybe it's not going to get any more. Oh, well, that's a shame. That was actually a pretty good fig. Maybe it's not going to get any more. Oh, well, let's see. That was actually, I'm going to take a quick peek at my message. Oh, let's see. That was actually, I'm going to take a quick peek at my message. just telling this guy that I send out invoices at the end of every day and that you can pay when you want. Because I have auctions going tomorrow as well. That I send out invoices at the end of every day. Let's see, where was I? I gotta back up a couple. Get back to my auction because I have auctions going tomorrow as well. Alright. So we got 1 minute, actually less than that now. 6 seconds, $41. Wow. Alright. For 2 little figs. This is Cannon, I think his name is, and a sorcerer. And they look pretty good. Like I said, the individual paint jobs aren't the bomb, but all this extra detail stuff that he put on is just fantastic. Like I said, the individual paint jobs aren't. So 41, I don't think there'll be much advance on that. Ooh, 49, yeah. We'll take that. So next, I don't think there'll be much advance. 3 bikes, 178 page views, 10 watchers, 1825 at 3 bikes. There's 1 minute left to go. Again, these ones don't look super fantastic, but when they're with the whole army, you're just like, oh damn, these look great. Again, these ones don't look super fantastic, but there's the other side of the army. Some decent pictures, you know. And let's see what they get. There's the other side of the army. Some decent pictures, you know. 1 minute to go. I don't actually expect these will go up that much more. These particular 2 lots of bikes that I had were relatively low on the watch list. Usually Chaos Space Marines on bikes do pretty well, so I was actually kind of bummed out to see the page views are down. But every miniature is particular to the person that's buying it, so sometimes you just don't get the 1 or 2 guys that you need to raise the price. Not just one person that's really interested in it. Sometimes you hear 15 bids could actually just be 2 guys bidding back and forth. So I don't expect much advance, but anything over 18 bids could actually just was pretty good. I was expecting about 20 to 23 bucks per lot of 3, so we'll see if that actually advances any more on that. And this particular one, no. Like I said, 178, and it had 10 watchers. Watch what the next one will be. This particular 1825. Like I said, 178, and it had next lot of bikes. 145, 17 watchers. Don't ask me why. 10 watchers difference. But not everybody will go through my store and look at everything. They just look at what they want and they get out. They're not browsers. They're very specific in their choices, and that could be what's going on here. Look at what they want. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Browsers. They're very specific. Let's see if we get any upgrade in price at the last minute. Look at what they want. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Browsers. Very specific. Let's see if we get take a nice sip of coffee. Price at the last minute. Get rid of that. Let's see if we can take a nice sip of coffee. All right. 38 seconds.
40k since back in second edition, so I really don't know the newest rules. I'm more of a fantasy guy. I haven't played, and even that I haven't really played much because I spend most of my time on eBay list. I sell. I rarely get a chance to play. Even that I haven't. But these are pretty cool. I think a lot of people were interested in these particular ones. Rarely get a chance. 11 Watchers, 251 hits. That's not too bad. 1050. I would expect those to go on the last couple of seconds. 11 Watchers, 251 hits. 15. I'd be pretty happy. 15. I would put them at about 350. I'd be pretty happy. Miniature. 15. I would put them at 250. Isn't that bad considering they're really not much different than regular Chaos Space Marine. Sure, they look a little different. The cost in plastic's the same. 250 isn't that bad. The painting's the same. But it's all what people like. Let's see. So we have 57 seconds left. What people like. I'm gonna check to see what this person wanted. Message. 57 seconds left. What people like. 57 seconds. 35. 57 seconds. 57. High bidder ID. Pow tub. 6. High bidder ID. Pow tub. 6. Getting down to the wire. 14. Come on. Bidder, 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 bidder. Down to the wire. 14. Ooh, yuck. Come on. Bitter, 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 bitter. Wow. Okay, I was expecting a little more out of that. Ooh, but yuck. Again, that's not too bad for foreign launchers. Okay, I was expecting a little more. Not at all where I wanted to be on that though. Again, that's not too bad for here we go. For foreign launchers. Okay, I was expecting not at all where I wanted to be on that though. Yeah. These ones are heavy bolters. Big heavy weapons company. These units are heavy bolters. 650 with 9 watchers, 94 page views, which is actually relatively low. These are just basically standard troops. 9 watchers. And like I said, they're not painted, which is actually beautifully as per individual miniature. Standard troops. And like I said, 650. 1 minute beautifully as per individual miniature. Standard troops. And like I said, 650. 1 minute beautifully as per individual miniature. 45 seconds. 45 seconds. Those are P. Alright. Getting down to the wire. 27 seconds. I'm gonna take a guess. Down to the wire. $10. 27 seconds. I'm gonna take a guess. Down to the wire. $10. 27 seconds. 8. I'm gonna take a guess. 2. Oop, there's 9. Last but not least, 9. Okay, so they went up. Still not where I wanted them to be, but like I said, these are the fodder. The good stuff is coming up. 9. Okay, so down below. Still not where I wanted them to be. Some of the weird stuff got some odd pricings, I'll tell you that. Alright. Here is the most disappointing one so far. Some of the weird stuff got some, or at least they were as of last night. Not so much right now. Alright. Here is the most disappointing one so far. These are the Raptors. Yeah. Modified jump packs. 5 Raptors. Now you can see the jump packs are these old metal style modified jump packs. I forget. Are they from Scourge?
little bit of weight, along with the magnets that are on the bottom. Yeah, pretty decent. It was already going for a half good price.
They were disappointing for a while. They were down there at like $2 forever, and I couldn't figure it out. I was going, did I spell something wrong?
No.
They were
7 seconds left to go.
Down there at like $2 forever,
And we have 1550. That's not too bad. It's much better than the $2.
left to go.
Yeah, we should have another lot of those coming up. But here's lot number 2.
That's not too bad.
Same things. Much better than the $2.
Yeah, we should have another lot.
1550. 213 page views. 14 watchers. And again, 1550. Two pretty beefy looking guns. I think those are Maltas. And again, not quite sure. Backpacks on these. Again, look great. Same basing. Not quite sure. This guy, if he wins them both, he should be pretty stoked. That's a decent little unit. Look great. Same basing. This guy, if he wins them both, he should be pretty stoked. That's a decent little unit. Look great. Same basing. Ooh, 1850. This guy, if he wins them both, he should be pretty stoked. That's a decent little unit. Ooh, 1850. 127, 1850. Here, I'll click on this. There's a good picture. 127, 1850. Here, I'll click on this. There's a good picture. Yeah. Just standardly good pictures. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just show what they're going to get, exactly what they're going to get, the way that they're going to get them, and you should be fine. No. Like I was saying before, do the best you can, mean well, try hard, and it'll come. Don't make mistakes, that's a big part of it. Mean well, try hard, so what do we have? 40 seconds left. That's a big part. I can't imagine there's going to be much more advance on this price, but possible. Does have substantially more hits. Can't imagine there's going to be much more advance on this price, but possible. 18 have 60, 22. Can't imagine. Come on, better. Possible. 18 have 60, 22. Oh, we got a bunch of people to pay already. Okay. Here we go. Should be at 1850. That's solid. I was hoping for more on those as well. Like I said, painted miniatures are definitely a very odd beast to sell. Now here's one I'm going to love. Painted miniatures are definitely a very odd beast to sell. So, these are Mage Knight miniatures, if I remember correctly. The gentleman took them off of the bases, added some GW parts to them, and used them as Chaos Spawn proxies. Absolutely worthless as far as the miniatures go. I think you can get these miniatures for 25 cents a piece before they're painted and modified like this. So whatever he's getting for these, he's killing it already. $60 for a bunch of fake. I wouldn't say fake, because so try to sell whatever he's getting for these, but he's killing fake miniatures. $60. Yeah, a bunch of fake. Absolutely fantastic looking though. And if you're a fantasy person, you can actually use these for dryads of some evil world, or and if you're a fantasy person, treeman type thing, a little more on the chaos side. But I think they look cool. Well, the $60 is really a fantastic price for that. Almost to the point where I can say, hey, here's a bunch more of these miniatures. Go ahead and paint up some more. We'll make a fortune. But 11 seconds left. There's no way I can match this. Go
for the next 20-30 minutes straight. It's going to be units of 5, standard chaos, space the next Marines, modified to fit the overall scheme. You'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to fit the overall scheme. Approximately 10, 11 listings, and they're all just units of 5, so you can mix and match, put together whatever 10, 20 you want out of the miniatures that I have. If I put units of 10 or 20, yeah, they can sell pretty well, but then they're forced to buy every miniature in that lot of 10. This way here, if they want a lot of 10, they can go through and pick out the 2 lots of 5 that they want to best fit their look. So that's basically why I did it. I also did it because I wanted to get a couple more auctions up. It adds to the overall amount of auctions that I have, which really helps in the long run. You work on one grouping or one style of item, the people will come out. So the more I can get it seen, the better, and then 20 listings get seen a little more often than 10. So that's kind of why I did that. And let's see. Hopefully these will all get right about 10 to 15 bucks a piece. 10's what I'm expecting. 15's what I'd like to see. Hopefully these will all get. And the views on these will be low because, well, a lot of people don't paint their chaos space Marines. They're fairly cheap enough in box, although I think they're like 50 now for 10. And we have 1150. Boom, 1450. So we're at where I wanted to be, which is pretty good. We'll go on to the next one. Boom, 1450. So we're at this one looks like it's got some kind of standard in there. We'll go on to the next one. It looks like plasma's got some kind of standard in there. Yep, another standard little group of 5, already at 1550, so I'm doing good there. Can't imagine there'd be much more price increase on that, but already at possible. 50, so I'm doing good there. Can't imagine there'd be much more price. Click on it so you can get a better view. Possible. As you can see, click on it. My pictures turn out a little dark, and I lightened them up in 2 different programs just to get them this light. But my pictures turn out a little dark. I got pictures that were lighter, but it made the colors just to get lighter. Almost to the point where when I'm looking at the picture, I don't recognize the miniature because the color difference was so much, and I don't want to do that to my customers. I don't want them to have to picture too much difference than what they're actually going to get. And this was a pretty fair representation of what they're going to get. So I stuck with that. But again, they look a pretty fair representation of what they should be done. So I stuck with 16, okay, 50 more cents. I'm happy with that. They sniped out at the last second, of course. That's the eBay way of doing things. Everybody bids at the last 10 seconds. Next lot. Sniped out at the last second. Lot number 21. That's the eBay way of doing things. We'll take a look at these ones. Bolter, Malta, I think. That's the eBay way of doing things. We'll take a look at these ones. Pretty cool little unit. Nothing special. 1350. Again, we're in line with what I was expecting. Pretty cool little unit. Nothing special. 1350. 1 minute, 15 seconds. 112 page views. Oh, with these particular ones, I actually put the story that the gentleman was telling me about. These particular ones and the idea behind it. And I usually don't put that in, but I figured was telling me about. Well, first of all, he sent it to me, so I might as well use it. Gives people a pretty good idea, and I know a lot of people are into the fluff part of it. I've never so that it just doesn't really appeal to me. But all my friends are just all about, especially for the fluff, getting those black library books, and they're telling me about deep demons on which world, and it's gone over my head. But basically, I understand the game. I just don't play it much anymore. It's gone over my head. And let's see. Basically, I understand. We should be done. 1650. Okay, we're beating the average that I thought, so that's good so far. Next one is already at 2050. 1650. Okay, we're beating the average different about this. That's good so far. Okay. Next one is okay. It looks pretty VA. Another standard. Different about this. Okay. Look at the back side of these. Okay. It looks pretty VA. Again, another standard. Pretty nice. A little better coloring in this particular one, but again, another standard. Pretty nice. I'm sure the same buyer will buy it up. ETJO 2050. I'm sure more than happy with that. That's $4 a miniature. Pretty good. 2050. Of course, that's probably not even what Games Workshop charges for new miniatures on blank on the sprue, but for used, that's probably not even. I'm pretty stoked right there. New miniatures blank on the sprue, 2050 for used. I'm pretty stoked. Again, I'll pop this up just so you guys can see it. The whole Chaos Army at one time. That Mahler Fiend that you see in the back, that's the #1 watched that I have for right now. And it's already up to like 51 or something like that. Absolutely, that's fantastic piece. These tanks are pretty cool too. I like this one here. Color. This was awesome. But we're gonna go back. Hit refresh. 2050. Yep, didn't think that would advance much. But we're gonna stay back. Next. Refresh. 950. 2050. Yep, didn't think that would advance much. But we've got 10. 171 page views, 12 watchers, 10 bugs. We've got 10. Let's see what do these ones look like. 171 page views, standard. Nothing special. Let's see what do these ones look like. Look at the back side. Standard. Yeah, pretty good too. Nothing special. Alright. Refresh. 1 minute to go. Come on, 15. 10, I'm happy. 15, I'm really happy. 1 minute to go. Come on, 15. 10, I'm happy. 15, I'm really happy. 1 minute. Come on, 15. 10, yeah, that's a lot of work, even if they're not beautiful individually. That's a lot of work. Yeah, that's a lot of work, even if they're not. That is a lot of work. Beautiful individually. Let's see, 1 minute to go. Down to 30 seconds. That is a lot of work. 14. 1050. 1 minute to go. Come on, any advance? That. 1050. 14. 1050. Come on, any advance? 1050. That's from possibly first timer. Alright, that's kind of cool. A little low, but they're not all winners. 10, 20, average 15. So we're looking pretty good still. A little low, but they're not all winners. 10, 20, 10, 15. So we're looking pretty good still. A little low, but nasty little dudes, that's for sure. 10. Now, if I was personally Basically, when I was playing Warhammer, I hated humans. Any human miniatures, I just didn't want to paint. Basically, when I was playing Warhammer Fantasy, I was goblins most of the time, Skaven. Never Empire, never Bretonnian. Same thing with Space Marines, IG. Didn't really care for them. Space Marines were a little easier because the armor and shit that they have on. Space Marines, IG. A lot easier to paint, a lot more fun to paint. But humans just generally, I really like mids. I was doing Tau for a little bit, and Tau were kind of human-ish. I really like, but everything they have looks so cool. You paint it so much. It's like, oh, okay, I gotta paint a shit ton of these Taus. And I got most of them done, but I ended up selling them just because, if you have a game store or a gaming business, I got most of them done, but you don't get the games. You just get to sell. You're constantly busy trying to meet people and sell, but you're always talking about the items that they love. You just get to sell. So you're constantly busy. You're just trying to meet people and sell. You buy what you can from people. You turn around, they flip it. If I was to play, I'd probably go fantasy. Dungeons and Dragons is kind of my thing. But I love to paint. To this day, I don't even care to play that much, but I have to have my painting time. I find I'm a lot more relaxed when I do paint. So let's see here. Is it this one? 1250. That's not bad. There wasn't any real standards or anything in there, just regular for 5 guys, so that's not too bad. Let's hope another one of them goes above it. Kind of average it out. Okay, another 5. We got 1550. Kind of average it out. Some pretty regular looking guns here. Okay, another 5. We got 1550. Flamethrower of some sort, it looks like. Some pretty regular looking guns. 402 0. Another kind of seldom eBay user, looks like. 125 page views, 6 watchers, 1550. Not expecting too much over the top. eBay user, looks like. 125 page views, 6 watchers, 1550. Alright, not expecting too much over the top. 1850, 24 seconds. 125 page views, 6 watchers. Anybody going above that? 10 seconds. Going above that does not look like 1850. I'm pretty happy with though. That averaged out that 1251 to the 15 I want to be at. Looking good. Does not look like 1850. All right. So we have another 1251 to the 15 I want to be at. Looking good. Regular gun. Looks like some kind of plasma. Regular gun. Standard little units, 15, 2 minutes to go. 211 page views, 212. So that means somebody is looking at it right now. 2 minutes to go. 211 page views, 212. That means somebody is looking at it right. 1 minute to go. 211 pages. So I'm going to jump back real quick and look at what we have on deck. This one here is a heavy weapons team. Look at what we have on autocannons, I think.
last minute. Like I said, if they don't enjoy the paint job, they're just not going to bid on it. And this is somebody's personal idea of what their army should be, not standard army Warhammer issue stuff. These are modified, and people are going to bid on them, not standard army. Just looking for the right people. Let's see, this one's done. 1550. People are going to bid on them, not bad. Refresh just to make sure. Yep. Let's see, this one's done. Next one. $6. Yeah. Now you can see, even from a half an hour ago, they were at $650, and they've gone up. Now you can see, double, almost triple, in that amount of time. So when I was telling my buyer, I'm like, hey, as long as we're at $1,200 in bids with 24 hours to go on the first lot, we should almost double that amount of money from them. And it looks like we're going to be holding up to that. Some of them not so much, some of them way more. And I'm just hoping at the end I cut this guy $1,500 check minimum and feel pretty good about it. Just hoping more than that would make me feel better. But like I said, these are a very particular style of miniature, and they may not do exactly as planned. Although I think I've given them every opportunity to do well. Ending them at a good time, good pictures, low shipping, or at least low as I can possibly get it. And not lose. Okay, so here we have 55 seconds, 1350, 154. Okay, so here we have 1850. Boom. So we're already beating the $15 average on that. It was at 6, 3 times the amount it was selling for before. A couple seconds left to go, but I don't know. Alright, there we go. 3 times the amount it was selling for before. Now see, this kind of almost doesn't make sense to me. These ones are no more nice than the last couple. But by this time of the auction, usually a couple people are catching on, and they're looking at everything. They're doing what I'm doing with you right now, which is watching each auction. A couple of them. Most of those are my personal friends, but I do have some people around the world that do watch my stuff. So they could be in it as well. Let's see, what do we have? 2250. Happy with that. So that's an extra cigarette break for me. See, what do we have? Next, we have, okay, this is a decent little group. Standard. Next, one guy looking pretty mean with the extra skull. 2 guys looking pretty mean with the extra skeleton bits. One guy looking pretty mean with the extra skull. 1550. 2 guys looking pretty mean. What was it at? A half an hour ago? 1550. It was at, what was it at? Half an hour ago? 1050. Okay. So it's gone up 50%. That's not too bad. And we're not even done. 1050. Any extra questions? So it's gone up 50. Just sales. Good. And we're not even done. Any extra questions? So it's gone up 1550. Good. 26 seconds. 1550. 26 seconds. Oh. Looks like I missed a little spot clean up on my picture. Oh well. Here we go. 1550. Okay, that's not bad. Average. Oh well. Here we go. And next we're getting into the good stuff. This is where the cheap stuff stuff starts and the best stuff picks up. Okay, so these are
to the good stuff. This is
two missile launchers and
cheap stuff starts and the best stuff picks up.
okay, as cannons.
These are to the good stuff. This is
Two missile launchers and las cannons. Either way,
as cannons.
heavy weapons of some sort. Ooh, that's actually real low.
Launchers and las cannons.
Either way,
As cannons.
heavy weapons of some sort. Ooh, that's actually real low. Let's take a better look at those pictures.
Heavy weapons of some sort.
That's actually real low. Let's take a better look at those pictures. 114. That's about some of the lowest views that I've had on any of the items so far.
114.
You know, other
That's
than the
about
standard five guys,
some of the
blah, blah,
lowest
blah.
views that I've had.
But those aren't really anything too
Any of
special.
the items so
Ooh,
far.
1550. There we go.
That's about
standard five guys. Let's see if we get a little more right here at the
Those aren't
end.
really anything too special.
1650. I'll take it.
There we go.
Little low, but not bad.
See if we get a little more right
Oh, the Mauler Fiend.
1650. I'll take it.
Oh, I hope this one does well. Little low, but not bad. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 auctions to go today. The Mauler Fiend. Almost 1,000 page views. 48 watchers. This was at like 50-51, but as the price goes up, you see, you know, the amount of watchers pull back a little bit. This was at like 50-51, but as the price goes up, 24 seconds. You see, you know, is this the top of the mark? I'm thinking this one here should go up to 70, possibly. That is just too hard to tell. Is this the top of the mark? We'll show you the pictures though. Should go up to 70, possibly. That is just too hard to tell. Is this the top of the mark? We'll show you the pictures though. Should go up to 70, possibly. That is just too hard. Yeah, that's pretty cool. 3 magnets on the bottom. Actually, they hold really well. I have them in, or the owner has them in metal trays. That's pretty cool. These basket-looking trays. Actually, they hold really well. They don't move. Or the owner has. I mean, I could probably hang the tray on the wall, and all these miniatures would stick to it. It would look really cool. They don't move. All right, how much? Probably hang the tray on the wall, and all these 7 seconds. Yikes! It would look really cool. I would hope that's more than that. No, 53. Yikes. That's not bad. I mean, I hope that's more. Would have liked to have seen more, but wow. Again, that might be because that's not bad. I mean, I hope too customly done for most people to wow. Again, that might be because all right, let's see what these tanks go for then. Too customly. Tank number 1. Decent little tank, one basic color, a little bit of leaves. He looks good though. He did take his time and put on all this extra little tree bark looking stuff. Definitely a chaosified tank. Light, relatively light. Shipping, it's going to kind of be a little bit of a pain, but I should be able to do it. If these were metal, then I might have to just sell them to my local buyers, because the weight in a box when you tip upside down can just crunch all kinds of bits. Usually with light plastic tanks, you don't get that much. I should be able to send all of these without breaking them pretty easily. So let me get rid of this. We have, I should be able to send all of these without breaking them pretty easily. So let me get rid of this. Okay, now tomorrow we'll be doing the IG. And the IG army. Okay, now tomorrow, see if I can find it here. We'll be doing the IG. There we go. IG army is huge. Again, we have just tons of tanks. We have faction on top of just tons of cold ones. The Dark Elf cold ones, these look awesome. And all this stuff will be ending tomorrow from approximately 12 Pacific time to about 2 o'clock. And I'll be online for that as well. Pacific. So let's see what we have. To about 2 o'clock. 2350. That's a little disappointing, but you know, it is just one color. I mean, a little bit right there, but that's a little disappointing. But you know, it is. This is the one that I really like the most. A little bit right there. I thought the colors on this one turned out perfect. Wait till you see the top view. This is the one that I really like the most. I don't think I have the top view. I thought the colors on this one turned out. Anyway, this brown tends to look a lot better. There we go. Anyway, this brown tends to look pretty good tanks. A lot better. Good colors, great theme. I was pretty happy to sell them, to take pictures and list them. Like that looks cool. Great theme. Magnets on the bottom to sell them. I really wanted to catch like a picture of me hanging these on the wall and I'm in the gate. I just kind of freak guys out. But the magnets are pretty much that good to where I could do that. Alright, so we have 404 page views. Pretty much that good to where I could do 37 seconds left, $29, 20 watchers. I'm gonna guess 37 seconds left. I hope it goes more than 29. 20 watchers. I'm gonna guess 37 seconds. 29, 19 seconds. I'll hit refresh a lot this time. 11, 29, 19 seconds. 7, come on. Any advance? No, 29 is the top of the mark. Come on. Next tank. 2050. 29 is the top of the mark. Tree block. He might like these tanks. Next tank. 2050. 29 is the top of the mark. 10 watchers. 2050. Next tank. 10 watchers. 2050. So yeah, tomorrow we'll start off with, let's see, those are not, okay, what we're starting off with. So yeah, tomorrow we'll start off with, let's see, seconds, 2150. Boom. Done. Alright. 2 seconds. 6 more auctions to go. Terminators, 2250. I can't imagine those are going to go up much more for just 4 of them. But they look great. Lots of extra little green bits, skull parts all over them. And Terminators are got expensive. I think it's 65 now. Skull parts all over them. And Terminators. So this is pretty good. 65 now. I think somebody, even if they pay $30, is still getting a really good deal. So this is pretty good. 65. I think somebody, this is that $30 Guard guy again. Really good deal. So this is pretty good. 60. I think somebody, this is that $30 Guard guy again. So this is pretty good. 60. This is 1 minute and 38 seconds. 1:15. Let's see what some of these other prices are. 38 seconds. 2250, 25, 33, 60, 60, and the Defiler. Let's hope that goes up. That should be worth, again, 40, 50, even 80 for how nice it actually is. Let's hope that goes up. That should be worth, again, 40, back here, 80 for how nice it actually is. Let's hope that goes up. That should be worth, again, 40 back here. All right. Home stretch now. 29 seconds. All right, let's get a good look at these. Home stretch now. Decent. 29 seconds. Yeah, the bases look cool on these. Let's get a good look at these. All right. Home stretch now. Decent. 29 seconds. Yeah, the 8 seconds. Cool on these. Come on. All right. Decent. Yeah, the 8 seconds. Topped out. 2250. All right. Topped out. 2250. All right. 25, $5 a piece. Not too bad. We should be able to get more for those. But I think overall for the day we're not doing a piece, too terribly bad. We should be able to get more for those. I think we should be right about 1,000, 1,200, possibly a little more. I think we should be right. I think it is a little more. 1,200. Should have been keeping a running total, but that's just too hard with watching 4 or 5 different screens at one time. My first time doing the YouTube thing, as far as recording what I do, kind of talking through it. And my customer can watch this a little later on when I what I do, decide for myself whether I did a good job or not. Like I said, I would have bought these outright had they not been painted. But painted, you run into too many issues. The IG is more likely to do better because they're standard IG colors. I think a lot of people will be able to put them in their army and have it look weird. They're these, a unit or two off to the side will look fine. But if you just put like a couple of miniatures in there, it is going to be a little weird, especially if they're not based the same or whatnot. Let's see what we have on these ones. 2750, possibly a little more, especially if they're not based. 2750, that's not bad. Let's see what we have on those ones. And 2750, last but not least, S14 CK58. $33, 355 hits, 16 watchers, $33, 350. Yeah, these that's pretty table ready to play. Just about anywhere you go, you got more than 3 colors. Pretty completely based. I'd be happy to play an army like this. Just about anywhere you go, you got more. Not so much happy to ship it. I gotta account for all these little pokey parts that break. You know, if it wasn't for the big, huge box of cotton, I'm happy to ship it. I'd really be afraid to ship these, but I should be fine. Tissue, newspaper, big box of cotton. I got bubble wrap. Good boxes. I think we should be just fine. You know, maybe if you're getting to Brazil, I'd be a little scared. But for the most part, these should show up at every store just fine. You know, maybe if you're getting to Brazil, how much do we get? 33. I for the most part topped out. $6 a piece, a little over. That's not bad. Now for 2 items that I don't think are going to go up at all. $6 a piece. These are 1,000 cents. Now for there's 10 of each. In each lot, already at 60. These are 1,000 cents. I think that's pretty well tip-top of the mark. We have 8 watchers, not a lot of watchers as opposed to the other ones that had more and didn't get bids at the last second. Well, tip-top. Or did, but didn't get much. 8 watchers, not a lot of watchers as opposed to the other ones. I really don't think these will go on the last second. Or did, but didn't get much. 8 watchers, not a lot of watchers. But it only takes 2 guys. Sometimes they get into a bidding war, sometimes they don't. But it only takes 2 guys. Sometimes they get into a bidding war, sometimes they don't. Come on, any advance. But it only takes 2 guys. Sometimes they get into a bidding war. And that defiler will be the last one of the day. I'll take a quick look and see how we kind of did in my invoicing. And the last one of the day. We'll pick it up again tomorrow at look and see how about noon when the IG goes up for sale. And they should do fantastic. Like I said, much more average paint job. IG sells usually pretty well anyway, and a couple of the tanks are resin. Not resin rip-offs, but they are actually pretty well anyway. From what the seller was telling me, they are Epic Cast before Epic Cast released them, and before Games Workshop released the Chimera. They are Epic Cast. These are the pre-production ones that were only printed for in-house use. A couple select friends supposedly got a few, and I happen to have 4 of them. A couple select friends. These could go for $12 a piece because a lot of people, the resin to them is just fake and there's no way to authenticate it, so they aren't going to care. And then there's going to be other guys who know a resin product who might bid a lot more. So the range on what I can sell them at could be as low as $20, $25 and as high as $150. I'm expecting somewhere around $50 a piece, but if they really know their IG well and their Epic Cast, like friends of the guys who started it, they know. So there is potential upside on some of those, but I would expect they're going to end up around $50 a piece. The weight on it is fantastic. So there is potential. You're picking it up, ooh, substantial without being real cheap feeling. They're really something cool. All right, ooh, 60. Yeah, I didn't think that would sell for much more. That was pretty top end. All right, next one is only 45 seconds away. 76. Holy. See, and I really need auctions like this where they get more to offset the ones that didn't do well to really end up where I want it to be. I told this guy I think I could sell his Chaos and his IG for $3 grand total. Cut it. I believe I told last cut. I don't have the math in front of me, so I am trying really hard. Now, I already have $234.99 in sales before today even started, so I think we're looking at pretty good. 125 of that was actually these Chaos Space Marines. It was 32 Dryads that he used as cultists. Great idea. Fantastic. And somebody bought those right off the bat. He used as cultists on those. And it took a little bit of a price hit from me, but it was fair. And when he said, all right, you have 179, I think, on them, I'm wanting to be around 85. We compromised, met at 125, I think, plus shipping. But because, you know, it's all going in one box, he saved on shipping, so he was stoked. And yeah, it's just fantastic. Now, why this one is going for $16 more than the last one makes no sense to me, but that's the eBay game. So, just fantastic. Let's see. Now, why this one is going for $16 more than oh, how did that happen? That's the eBay game. So, just fantastic. Let's see. All right, we'll take it. Let's hope he pays. They kind of did overpay for those, but they do look cool. We'll take it. Let's double what the other 10 sold for. Okay. Pay for those, but they do look cool. Well, I'll take that all day long. And then 27 seconds for the big boy. Okay. I hate the fighters. I've never done well with these ones. I mean, they do okay, but they don't kill it. It's like people who play Chaos don't really care to play with the defilers. I mean, they do okay, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if the rules on it nowadays are really weak, but 54, I'll take it. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if the rules on it. So, that was the last auction of the day, but later on I'll get a total and I'll put it down in the link below. Like I had said before, there's no reason to subscribe to my channel or anything like that. I'm just trying to give my buyers an idea, or my sellers an idea of how it is I'm going to sell their stuff and the kind of prices that we get. Like, okay, none of these, as we were watching them, did super fantastic except for the 123,000 suns, which is amazing. But I bet when I go back and I add everything up, I'm right about where I wanted to be on the full day. So I'm happy, especially when the better half of this collection is still to come tomorrow in the form of the IG. So we'll take a quick peek through my sales for the day. So we'll take this is just the people that have paid so far, and most of them haven't gotten an invoice yet. So I'm going to go to orders. Let's see. We, Dakar, Cantu, Riz, okay, let's see. We, Dakar, Cantu, Riz, okay, so there's, no, that's the other stuff. That's paid and waiting to ship. Awaiting payment. Okay, so there's, no, that's the other stuff. That's paid and waiting. Come on, awaiting payment. Awaiting payment. Okay, so there's, no, that's the other stuff. That's paid and waiting. Come on, awaiting payment. Okay, so there's, so today we have, it doesn't give me the total. So today we have quite a bit though. I think we're right around the 1,400, 1,500 mark for the day. So that's pretty good. I probably even do it for the micro. I'll get stuff. And I'll see you guys, or anybody again tomorrow that's going to watch. If not, you'll see the video pop up. And that's going to conclude for today, guys. Thanks. Again tomorrow that's going to watch. If not,